What's your relationship with your father? In this video, I want to show you how having a good father can shape your personal growth. But if you don't have a father, or if you grew up relying solely on your own, hopefully some of my life experiences that I explain will help you in some shape or form.
What kind of relationship do you have with your father? Your real father. It's often ambivalent, right? Because there's an element of him that encouraged you, hopefully, because without the encouragement of your father, man, the world is a dismal place. It's very difficult to be a courageous person unless you have your father in body and spirit behind you. It's very demoralizing.
What you see in the video is Dr. Jordan Peterson trying to explain the importance of a relationship you have with your father. I grew up without my biological father. I know who he is, but I can't tell you what type of man he is. For most of my life, he served time in prison. By the time he was released, I was between the ages of 16 and 18. You would think he would have tried everything to be in my life, but he wasn't there to support me or encourage me. But I did have a stepdad, and maybe that was the reason why he wasn't there. Or was it because he didn't love me enough to be there? So I thought. My stepdad I've known since a very young age. I believe he had good intentions as a parent, but the relationship with my mom was filled with emotional and physical abuse. If you add infidelity from both sides, then you know it's a recipe for a relationship that won't last. But as I mentioned before, I believe he had good intentions as a parent. But when my mom and stepdad finally divorced, it seemed I became a part of that equation as well. Kent Ballard, an educator of 17 years who's been recognized for student achievement and growth, talks about the definition of fatherless.
But what does the definition of fatherless mean? Fatherless in this case actually puts the responsibility and the ownership on the father to be engaging, to be enlightening, to be encouraging, and to equip their children. Fathers who fail to create a firm foundation for their children actually put their children at a great disadvantage.
My interpretation was maybe once my stepdad left, was he then passing off the responsibilities back to my biological father to be there to support my growth? We will get back to that. Now, I never really had any real support from my stepdad, even when I was a teenager or even when I played youth football. No one was ever there to watch me practice. So I didn't care to try my best because my parents were not there for me to impress them. I feel like that's one of the many examples of the reasons why I dropped out of high school. That lack of support hindered my growth. I eventually followed my own path of trials and tribulations, which allowed me to obtain multiple degrees and a beautiful life with a wonderful family of my own. I hope this video helps you, and I hope one day my son sees this and it becomes meaningful for him. Thank you for watching the entirety of this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful